Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I lost weight. Now this is kind of when I first started eating healthier and really focusing on like what I was putting in my body. So this was like back in high school, like 3 or 4 years ago. At like the end of my junior year, one of my New Year's resolutions was to just eat better. I just really liked the results and I really liked how I was feeling, so I kind of just kept doing it, and I still eat that way. So these are kind of the first things I really changed about what I was eating that really showed results. This is also just about like my food habits and tips that I started doing. It's not really based on like the gym or working out or anything like that, but regardless, let's just jump right in. Before we jump right in, I actually just wanted to kind of explain how I was feeling and why I did this. So it was a New Year's resolution, but I was also just feeling really gross. I was just not confident in my body. My stomach always hurt when I ate. I felt like I was always bloated. I don't know, I just felt really like sluggish and gross, and I figured it was probably from everything I was eating. And that's kind of when I started looking into more like what you should be eating and just like really looking more about what I was putting in my body, not just based on what I wanted to eat. And so this kind of leads me into the first thing I really started doing that really helped me and how I was feeling, and that was cutting out dairy. I didn't cut it out all at once. I kind of just limited it. I kind of just limited it. Oh geez, I didn't cut it out all at once, okay? But I was reading a lot of things about how, you know, our bodies can't digest dairy properly, and a lot more people are lactose intolerant than we think, and all this stuff. And I was reading about all these good things that happen when people cut out dairy. Your acne goes away, it helps your digestive system and bloating and all this stuff, which is all things I was like focused on. And so I decided to cut it out, and I basically saw improvement in like every single one of those areas. Like my acne got better, I wasn't feeling as bloated, you know, my stomach wasn't hurting after I ate anything, which, you know, was great. So if you are looking into like losing weight or feeling better, I would suggest just trying it out and seeing if that was your problem. I do still eat dairy now and then. I can't give up ice cream or cheese. I can't give it up. But I can limit it and I can have it in moderation, and so that's kind of just what I do. And that's what really was the first thing that really helped me. The second thing I started doing was taking probiotics. So when I first started taking them, I think I was taking like, I don't know, just like a small amount. I think the ones I had like 2 billion, what are like the units of measure? Oh, CFU. I don't know what that stands for. I think it was kind of like a low dose of that. I think it only had like 2 billion CFUs. But basically, any probiotic is good to start incorporating into your diet. It really helped me like with all the same things cutting out dairy did, help with bloating. Not really like my acne or anything, but it did just help me feel better. I normally take mine, ever since I started taking them, I normally take them like right when I wake up on an empty stomach. Some people take them with food. I find it works best when I take it on an empty stomach, and then I just wait like 15 or 20 minutes to eat breakfast. But moving on into my third thing, and that is drinking apple cider vinegar. And I'll be the first to admit, it doesn't taste good. It actually tastes awful, but it really does help, you know, with bloating, helps with my skin. It helps with a lot of stuff. I haven't done this in a while, but when I was doing it, I was really on top of it and doing it like every single night. I feel like a lot of us who have searched anything into YouTube about losing weight have come across some video about drinking apple cider vinegar. If you can get over how bad it tastes, just drink it at night like I said. I felt weird about drinking it right after taking a probiotic because that's got like all your other little bacterias in it. I don't know, I just didn't like mixing them. I would just mix like a tablespoon or two in like a big cup of water. I used to just like take little, like I would just pour straight vinegar in a cup. But that is actually really bad. It can burn holes in your stomach. So if you do drink apple cider vinegar, mix it with some water because it is very acidic. Again, I don't really do this right now. I should probably start doing it because I really liked what the results I saw from drinking it was. My next tip is something that is probably the most cliche thing I could say in this video, and that is to drink more water. The reason I wanted to mention this was because I was the exact same way. I would carry around my Hydro all day and I just literally just wouldn't think about drinking water. And a lot of it for me was because of the lid. I know that sounds stupid, but just switching to like a straw lid really made me drink more water just because of how easy it was to flip up the little straw and flip it back down. Like even when I was in my car, I wouldn't drink water because I'd have to use 2 hands to unscrew it, and it doesn't really work out too well when you're driving. And every single time I drink it, it would just spill all over my face and down my body. I don't know how, it always happened to me. And also my teeth are super sensitive, and the water would just always hit them, and like I'd get like that little pain, you know, when your teeth are sensitive. So that's another thing why I like about the straw lid. It's just honestly super easy, and it was like the #1 thing that helped me drink more water. I have to have something that's got like a straw, not like a plastic straw because we want to save the turtles. But yeah, so drink more water, but try and change it to something that makes it easier for you. My next thing, I was kind of debating not putting in here just because I kind of focused too much on it when I was doing it, and that's counting your calories on like a calorie app like MyFitnessPal, or the one I used to use was like an orange one. I think it was called Lose It. For the most part, I think it's super helpful to know how much you're eating, especially if you're trying to lose weight. You have to be in a caloric deficit, and trust me, when I first tracked them, I was eating way too much, and way too much of the bad stuff at that. When you're first starting out, it could be helpful just to know like intuitively how much you're eating, because like me, when I was doing that, I was just eating too much of the bad food, and that's what really made me, you know, get a little fluffy. But also I feel like it's really easy to get super obsessed about your calories, focus too much on what you're eating, and so that's why I wasn't sure if I was going to put this one in there. But I would just say if you're smart about it and you're really careful and you use it solely for like informational to get like the numbers of your calories, I think it'd be fine, and I think it would help you out. My next tip is setting a goal, and this can apply to like fitness, like in the gym, or with food, but I'm mostly talking about basically like trying to create a habit. When I say set a goal, I don't really mean like a number goal, like a weight, like how much weight you want to lose or what weight you want to be at, just because I feel like that can also become super obsessive. And you know, we all know that muscle weighs more than fat, and so you could look drastically different but be even heavier or the same weight, and you shouldn't let a number on a scale discourage you from that. What I used to do is I would see if I could go, like specifically I remember doing like, oh, if I can go a month without dairy, and so that was my goal. But it could just be a food related goal like that, or like not drinking soda for a month, or eating clean all week, or just something like that. Or again, like I said, it could be like gym related. But I definitely think if you have a goal, you are more likely to stay on track doing, you know, with eating healthier and doing what you're doing. Just because if you don't have a goal, then you're eating healthy and doing all this basically for no reason, or at least that's what I would think. Of course, it's healthier for my body to eat healthier, but it's just hard for me to visualize that. And so when I can kind of visualize a goal or really have something I'm working towards, it's a lot easier for me to stay on track and not slip up. So my next tip is to find healthier alternatives for your favorite foods. I feel like a lot of people naturally assume eating healthier as not being able to eat their favorite foods, but there are like 1,010 things. Okay, 1,010 is dramatic, but there's a lot of alternatives for basically any food out there. I don't know if you've been to the grocery store recently, but there's a lot. When I was first doing this a couple years ago, I'm a huge pasta fiend, and so I found this lentil pasta from Trader Joe's, but now I have been eating this chickpea pasta from Bonza in like the bright orange box. So good. They also have a black bean pasta at Trader Joe's, although it's pretty beany. I wouldn't really recommend it. But the lentil one, the chickpea one, really good alternatives for pasta. If you have a huge sweet tooth, like me, then I hope you know about Stevia. It's basically a 0-calorie or low-calorie naturally, naturally derived sweetener, and I am not exaggerating when I say I put this stuff on everything. I probably have too much of it, but I just love everything sweet. Put it in my coffee, I put it in my oatmeal, I put it in my dessert, I can make hot chocolate with it. The only thing I haven't really done is baked a whole lot with it, so I don't know about that, but Stevia is definitely something I cannot live without. I highly recommend it. They also make a liquid Stevia version from Trader Joe's. It comes like in a little dropper bottle, which is pretty cool, but I normally just get the packets, and that's it. Along with having a huge sweet tooth, I have to have chocolate every day. It's a necessity, non-negotiable, gotta have it. And so what I started doing when I was trying to lose weight is I would actually put cocoa powder in my oatmeal with some Stevia. So good. You can call me a grandma, but I eat oatmeal, honestly, if I'm being realistic, probably 4 to 5 times like the last 3 years for breakfast. Just that good. You gotta try it. Chocolate in the morning, what's better? Now, my last tip and thing I started doing was incorporating cheat meals or cheat days. Now, I don't know about you, but I am not the person that can have like one bite of cake or one cookie and like move on with my day. I wish I was, but you know, I kind of just accepted who I was, and that's not me. You know, I go big or go home. And so in order to eat all the things I'm craving, I just set up cheat meals or cheat days. And similar with like working towards a goal. If you don't even have a goal, work towards your cheat day. Whenever you're craving something, just try and push it off for your cheat day. That way, when it comes, you can satisfy all your cravings and get right back on track and still work towards your goals and losing weight and just feeling better about yourself. It helped me work towards something without me getting off track and eating super unhealthy every single day. But again, if you're someone who can just eat a little bit and then walk away, then by all means, do your thing. That's just really not how I work. So just do what works best for you, basically. But that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope some of these help you out if you are trying to lose weight or really just feel better and eat better. There are things I still do and use to this day. But yeah, if you liked today's video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!